Hi guys, just wanted to do a wee well done video on that session there. Or that week gone by. That was a brilliant week of training. Very tough. The 25-minute sections just introduce a different element to the training you've been doing the last 8 weeks. Again, I know you guys, some of you have just started. You've been kind of thrown into the deep end with that. Um, but just those 25 minutes, it just gives you the chance to take it, like I said at the classes, take more rest in between sets and really push yourself hard to get a high intensity effort on the big compound movements like your hip thrusts, like your bench press, like your split squats, etc. And the results are going to speak for themselves. And at the end of the block, I can't emphasize to you enough how good you're training in terms of what you're doing and the challenge, how challenging these exercises actually are. You're basically doing full body strength work and you're really pushing yourself on a regular basis every week. The body can't help but adapt to that in a positive way. The only caveat to that, I suppose, is that don't do yourself justice with the training you're doing, by taking care of the recovery process outside of it. So you just remember that it's so important that you eat properly to not just fuel the sessions but also to recover from them, because they are really high intensity in nature. They're designed to break down the muscles. Essentially, that's what they're doing. That's what you're doing when you're doing overload. You're breaking down the muscle. You're giving it micro damage, and then it grows back that bit stronger, anticipating you doing to it again what you've just done to it, and then it's more resilient therefore to deal with what you do to it, and then it continues that process, that slow process of growth, repair. And on that note, remember, as usual, obviously protein's crucial, and the growth and repair process is also crucial from a satiety point of view and helping to curb cravings, but it's not the only thing. I posted a couple of videos during the week on Instagram of some meal ideas. So just remember that alongside your protein content, you also need to have micronutrients, which is ultimately all your vitamins and minerals that come from fruit and vegetables, plus your more fibrous carbohydrates. You need fibre, not just to digest the protein that you're consuming, but also your general gut health. And also that also does contribute to satiety levels in terms of not feeling hungry. So just remember that a balanced meal is one that ticks all those boxes, as opposed to just, right, I'm eating a chicken breast, that's me sorted. It's definitely not. You won't get as much as you can out of the sessions and then the recovery from the sessions as you will if you make sure you're getting balanced meals. So my wee idea that I put up was just chopping the same base. I just chop the same veg base for most meals, like carrots, onions, peppers, courgettes, for example, and then I just add different flavourings each day and it gives you this, well, it's not gives you this illusion, it's you're eating different meals, but they've got the same base foundation of nutrients in them all. Boil up some baby potatoes, throw them in, maybe some fajita wraps some days, maybe some kidney beans or cannellini beans you throw in there. So the crucial part of all of this that we're maybe not focusing so much on within the sessions, because you're not here to eat, you're here to train, is the food side of things. So we've got 6 weeks left until Christmas. So my suggestion to you is to really just try and get focused, get organised. You don't need to prep your meals in advance, but you do need some sort of preparation. So that preparation for me is, there's just vegetables in the fridge. There's some basic things in the fridge. So I stock up on some red Thai pastes, green Thai curry pastes, masala curry pastes, fajita flavourings, some passata cartons, that sort of thing. And see, if you've got these, you can just conjure things within 15-20 minutes. It doesn't take long. The first effort, it's a bit like going out to do a training session at 5:30 in the morning. The hardest part is just getting started and getting out the door. And it's the same with when it comes to cooking meals. Sometimes the thought of it is, oh, I can't be bothered. But actually, see, as soon as you start chopping, it's fine. Then you just get it done, and then you're really glad you did it, because you're nourishing your body. It's about nourishing your body to allow for growth. You need enough carbohydrates to fuel these sessions, but also to grow from these sessions, to grow lean muscle. You can't grow lean muscle if you're not fueling them with not just protein, but also carbohydrates and fibre and all the things, all the nutrients that go with it, particularly in the winter. When you're more prone to being a bit run down, you need lots of nutrients to help that. In terms of the actual process itself, when it comes to the training, I just like to remind you of that. It is just that, a process. A lot of the time, it's going to, by the nature of training, like anything, a lot of times it's going to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back. If I could use an analogy that I use with the boys when it comes to football and developing technique, or even something as basic as keep you up. So one thing I've observed or noticed is if you often see maybe videos of kids in their development phase maybe do keep ups, or if I've ever put up a video of the boys do keep ups, at your first point of call is you're going to get proficient at one part of it. So for example, 1 foot 100 keep ups. Then you then want to improve upon that. But a lot of time people just want to see the end product. So they'll say, oh, that's quite good, but you need to get them to his left foot. And it's like, no, that's the process. That'll come later. Like, you want to get them proficient at something, and then you introduce something else. So you take 2 steps forward, suddenly they're getting a bit of confidence, they've made a bit of progress, and then you're saying, right, you're doing well, now we're going to add in, I want you to start doing left foot. And that's the one step back, because suddenly they're not very good at it again, and it's harder. But they've already developed a level of competency that allows them to see that they're going to get there if they just repeat the same process. So it's the same with training. You can't, it's a lifelong thing, and that's what I've been saying to you. So you can't, it's not a case of perfecting something, whether it's like a lift or a movement, and then that's it. It's you get good, you get quite good at something. You've achieved something to a certain level, and then you try and refine it and improve it. So I'll give you another example. So obviously, chin-ups, right? Some people will use their knees to help get a bit of momentum. I'm absolutely no problem with that. I think it's good. If it helps you get full chin-ups, arms straight with a wee bit of knees momentum, perfect. You've got to a certain number. Now we refine it. How do we refine it and make it more challenging, more perfect? Let's try and without the knees. That will mean you're going to be able to do less reps than you did before, but you're doing them in a more refined process. You're making it better. It's all part of the journey. I remember, going back to nutrition or food, I remember there's a famous chef called Marco Pierre White, and he had a famous quote, which was, "We live in a culture of refinement, not invention." And maybe I'm taking it out of context a little bit when I apply it to training, but it's kind of the same thing. Like, it's about refinement. It's you're making you're taking a process. You're going on a journey of a process. You're getting better at something, and then you're trying to refine it to get even better, or you're taking bits of it. Right? How can we get better here? And it becomes a constant journey of, I suppose, self-discovery, wee bit of self-experimentation, because there's and along the way you sort of learn. You learn from your mistakes as well. I guess you could tie that in again with the whole metaphor of like training is a bit like life. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes you feel great, sometimes you feel crap. Sometimes you get a good run at it, and then it's other times you get injured and things go wrong and you make mistakes and you need to try and learn from them. So it's a whole process, and it's up to you to just sort of like see it as that and enjoy that journey of like this, I guess, discovery, and just accepting. You have to accept the bad parts with the good parts. Like, having crap sessions is part of what makes a good session good. If every session was good, it would be like, oh, this is easy. But the whole point and anything that's worthwhile doing and achieving, the reason it's worthwhile achieving, the reason it's hard or considered like an achievement is because it requires something to get you there. And part of the requirement of any achievement needs some sort of challenge. It requires a process of difficulty that you've got to overcome. You've got to like tolerate the disappointments within it. So just keep going. You're doing well. I can see progress is happening for lots of folk. It's great to see, and you have to just take the rough with the smooth and just see it as part of the process to getting better, as opposed to seeing it as, oh well, I can't do that. Like, see it as part of a process. Like, you can't have the good without the bad. You can't have the bad without the good. Anyway, well done. Really good. 6 weeks left.